possible that there will be a right-to-extreme president, Marine Le Pen from Front National, in the Élysée. And that's something that's worrying most of the established politicians in Europe. It's worrying financial markets here. I think that will be a big point on the agenda, how to deal with that when the time comes rolling around.
Yes, okay, thank you, Ulrich. But let's finish off with the markets. Not a very bad day so far for the markets. I'm looking at the German DAX, and the CAC about 1%. The Italian market also green, so it looks like a decent Monday for the European markets. In terms of the earnings and what the rest of the week looks like, walk us through this, Ulrich.
Yeah, the company earnings expected this week are from major players. Daimler tomorrow. People looking, above all, I think, for the forecast. Will 2017 be as good as 2016 for Daimler with Mercedes with a slew of new models? It was a very good year. Allianz, the biggest insurer here in Europe, coming at the end of the week, weathering the storm of record low interest rates very well. How will that look in the future? People interested in statements on that. And I think probably one of the most interesting press conferences to come this year will be on Thursday, the Deutsche Börse. It's looking at a very uncertain merger plan with London, and the press conference will be led by the CEO, Carsten Kengeta, who's under investigation for insider trading.
Ulrich, thank you very much for weighing in on some of these very important conversations to start a brand new week. Thank you very much from Frankfurt Stock Exchange. My colleague there, DWTV for Channels Television, Ulrich Batz. Let's talk to the world of commodities. Gold is now $1,230.9 down $5, about 0.40% in the red today. The World Gold Council has released the 2016 full-year gold demand report in China, saying that the world gold demand gained 2% year-on-year to reach a three-year high of 4,308.7 metric tons in the year we just finished. The bullion demand for investment purposes surged 70% to 1,561 metric tons from 918.7 in the previous year of 2015, setting a new high since the year 2012. China was the world's major market for gold demand in 2016, with the gold bar and coin demand rising by as much as 25% year-on-year to 294.6 tons, while the global gold bar and coin demand dropped 2% year-on-year to 1,029.2 tons.
In the fourth quarter, the short-term drop of gold prices triggered the increase in the investment demand. In addition, both the end and the beginning of a year are generally peak seasons for gold sales. From the perspective of risk diversification of currencies, some assets transferring also boosted the gold investment demand.
So we're going back to the same with the market, but this time the securities market, the heads of Securities Exchange Commission in West Africa and the wider Africa region and the Middle East are meeting this week in Abu Dhabi. The meeting of the West African region securities market regulators is taking place today, while that of Africa and the Middle East is scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday. Nigeria is hosting the AMERC meeting, or the AMERC meeting, as the current chairman of the body. SEC's Nigeria's Director General, Monure Guazo, was out of Nigeria early today for the meetings. The global meeting of International Organization of Securities Commission, or IOSCO, is billed for April. Okay, so let's get to the foreign exchange market in Nigeria. What a day to start a brand new trading week after a successful roadshow. Nigeria issued its first Eurobond in 4 years last week. That was interesting. Now let's look at the markets with, as far as the currency is concerned. Let's get Ifweko Olotu, who is a dealer in charge in currency at the Access Bank, one of Nigeria's tier 1 commercial banks. Good afternoon, and thanks for coming through on the program.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. What a very nice way to start Monday. Talk us through where the market is starting the week.
Well, for us here, we still see that the interbank market remains stable. Essentially, rates are still around 304.5, 305 levels, which is certainly different from what we're experiencing at the parallel market. But then we still see stability with the official exchange rate and interbank market at 305.
Is it quiet there, or how active is the market in terms of demand versus supply?
It's pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet, maybe because it's just starting the week and we've just seen minimal volume. So we expect to see better volumes through the course of the week. However, we still expect CBN to intervene just before the close of market.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ifeko Olotu, for bringing us up to speed and raising the curtain for the currencies market to start the new week. But let's touch base very quickly. We have just about less than an hour, a few minutes to wrap up today's fixed income trading market, where we do bonds and treasury bills. Let's get Leko Idowu from Wema Bank to talk to us about how yields are shaping up this Monday to start the week at the narrow end of the market, despite the Eurobond we finished off the weekend. Hello, Leko Idowu.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. It's good to have you, Olaleko. So, bring us up to speed. Where is our yields stacking up on the treasury side and on the narrow bond side this Monday?
Good afternoon, sir. We're looking at the bond market today because of the bond auction this week. Market has been slightly quiet. On 36, that's the most traded maturity for now. But on treasury bill market, really, market has been more upset because there are two major events this week. The HOMO maturity of 256.1 billion and then NT bill of 42 billion. So dealers intend to set their position down so that they can actually buy back at the HOMO auction and as well as the NTB auction because they intend to get a higher yield there, really. And the yield is up slightly on treasury bill market, but on bond market, the yield actually declined slightly across 36 and 26 maturity. And for the rest of the week, we expect treasury market to remain more active, and we also expect bond auction to remain bearish for the rest of the week because of the bond auction, because we expect the market, the auction to close higher than where the market is presently trading at the secondary market.
Okay. Olaleko, thank you very much for, sorry, may I continue very quickly? Thank you very much for bringing us up to speed on what is on tap for the week, the bond auction and the maturity on Thursday. Quite a lot of activities at the primary end of the market. Thank you very much for coming through from Wema Bank. Let's take a break. We will come back.